Welcome to MLM Nation, a podcast of leaders, by leaders, for leaders, hosted by Simon Chan. He's built a team of over 200,000 and is now a full-time MLM coach and trainer. So if you're ready to level up your business, join us now. Let's do this.
MLM Nation, this is Simon Chan, and welcome to the 10th year. Actually, we're going to our 11th year of the podcast, the first episode. And this episode, I wish it was happy news, but it's not. But I'm going to share with you 5 shocking truths about a big thing that happened last week, but also how the network marketing profession, how it's still doing well in many ways and what it needs to do. It's kind of like an update to what I talk about the future of network marketing. Did that show 4 months ago. I can't believe it. It was like the last week of December when I recorded it. Talk about the future, how it's more challenging, the threats, the importance of focus, staying on course, focus one course until success, and what we must do. So let me go right to it. If you don't know, if you tell from the title, a major company in Modere shut down on Friday. So I'm recording this on Thursday, April 17th. It shut down on Friday, and it was a shock to everyone. Shock to me, shock to everyone, because there was no warning whatsoever. Now, you can say there were some signs that the company was not doing that well, and a couple big-time profile leaders have left. Leaders like Justin Prince had left, Maria Simone had left, a couple leaders had left throughout the last 2 or 3 years. But people were still earning. And when I found that news, I was almost sick to my stomach because a lot of my friends are in that company, leaders I've met over the years from the podcast. And then we connected, we hung out. And, Julie Burke, from Tanya Eliza to John DeMeltons to Margie Alaprandi, the name goes on and on. There's so many people there, Yasmin Pasquale, people who made money and people from earning $1,000 a month and to earning $5,000, $10,000 to people earning $50,000, $100,000 a month from that company. And without any warning, it just stopped, right? It wasn't like last year, there were some companies like Beachbody, Rodan and Fields. They made a transition to affiliate. Then a lot of leaders left, but they kept their customer base. But this was just like, bye, it's over. And that's it. No commissions, nothing. The last product orders were delivered, and I believe they're still fulfilling refunds. But aside from that, everything's over. No one got any checks. And there wasn't even like a plan B for people to start thinking about it. So let me share a few things about this. And because if you see stuff like that, naturally the reaction is like, is network marketing even worth it? Why network marketing when you work hard for 10 years? I know people work 10 years to build a good residual income, and it's gone. Is even residual income, passive income, even something possible in network marketing? And I'll tell you, yes, it is. Because full transparency, I still make passive income, residual income, low six-figure income from the business I built that started 22 years ago in 2003. I got lucky, but I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. But the fact that a company goes out, number one, it happens to any industry. Okay, this is business. It happens. It happens to network marketing. It happens to the biggest companies. It could have happened to Apple. Who knows? It could have happened to Microsoft. You never know. If you talk about, in fact, if you do some research, the biggest companies from 50 years ago are not even in the top 100 biggest companies today. Right? Actually, I think the status, the top 10 biggest companies from 50 years ago, not even the top. I'm not talking about top 50, top 10. Like the top 10, like Kodak Film was one of the biggest companies. They're not even in the top 100 now, right? Where they actually went out of business. But a lot of the companies from 50 years ago are no longer there. And the most valuable companies today, whether it's like Apple, whatever, the stats, the history shows that 20, 30 years, they're not going to be in the top 10. Probably not going to be in the top 100. Things change quickly. And you can research it. Look at, right now we're 2025. Look at what the top companies were in 1965 and see what they said in 1975 or 1965. And you probably wouldn't recognize any of those companies. So things change, right? Things are constantly changing. Even if you look at the companies from 20 years ago, it's a huge change. You'd be shocked at what they are. So that happens in any industry. And that's part of the entrepreneur roller coaster. You're going up, you're going down. You're up, you're down, up, you're down. And if you really want to be an entrepreneur, that's what the life is. Up and down, up and down, up and down. So it's not like network marketing is bad. It's like, it's not in every business. It's like that. But what network marketing is I'm really grateful for is it gives you the skill set to what you need to do for other ventures. And I'll talk a little bit more about in a second. Number two is residual income, right? Does it even exist? It does exist, but you got to be with the right company, the right place. And it does take tremendous luck. I had tremendous luck where I was able to build not just in the US, but in foreign markets and with a company that had a good product, right? But the most rewarding part, like why you do network marketing, is who you become. Who are you becoming? So that's number two. It's the fulfillment. And the reason I love this profession is, of course, it's not the money, but it's the time flexibility with my kids. That's a huge part of it. Like be able to do baseball. Like today, by 2:15, we're going to do like an hour of practice with my oldest son. Yesterday, I did this. And it's the time flexibility, taking my kids to school and all that, right? But also the fact that someone who had zero business skills, shy, quiet Asian kid from Brooklyn, New York, and now I can go out in a podcast and inspire you, teaching about online marketing, teaching how to sell, how to close, how to present. I never would imagine, even my college friends, never imagined. I mean, one of the first things they tell me is, I can't believe how much you've changed. But when we reconnected on Facebook years ago, when Facebook first launched, they saw me like, oh my goodness, I can't believe you're the Simon Chan that went to Columbia. I can't believe you're the Simon Chan we went to high school with. That's the amazing part of this profession, right? Is take what you can learn from it. But you do, what you learn is how to market yourself, how to sell, how to communicate, how to build relationships. And most important, how to conquer yourself, our biggest enemy, meaning how to stay focused, how to stay consistent. All these success habits, success principles. And network marketing is, like someone said, is basically a personal development university with a pay plan. Number three is with this shutdown, it's more important than ever. I think this is why you have to brand yourself. You have to create content, be a person of value, and brand yourself. You can't be tied with the company because anything that happens to that company, and that was who you are, right? Like if someone had tied down, and I'm just going to give Modere as an example. If Modere I was like, Simon's the Modere boy, Simon, everything, so I'm tied with it, which I wasn't, by the way. I'm just using as an example. And all of a sudden it went down, then people think, what's the success of Simon? What's going to happen to him? But if I brand myself, hey, this is Simon Chan, I am giving value, and all of a sudden just something happens, then yeah, Modere is just a partner of who they are. And that's a good example, not using me, that's a bad example. Like someone like the Zoleckis, right? Who I'm friends with, Tony and Sarah Zolecki, or the John and Nadia Meltons, who I'm friends with. They were branded as themselves. And Modere was just a partner. They weren't the company. They were themselves. And it just happened they used that. It's just like, I'm Simon, and I use an iPhone. That's just a tool I use, a vehicle I use. I drive this, right? Or I use a whip band to track my sleep. But I'm not that. And that's why branding yourself is so important, leading with value, so that if something happens with the company, it doesn't matter. People still follow you because they're not following the company, they're following you. And that allows you to transition to different things. And I believe as we're recording right now, there's a lot of those leaders in Modere, they actually shifted onto something new. Another good friend of mine, Michelle Barnes, who I've had on the show 2-3 times, hung out with her in Hawaii last year. Never thought this would have been possible, but she's branded herself. So when people follow her, because she's given value over the years, it's very easy to switch over to something else. Doesn't matter what company. Even if the company didn't go under, they could have done something else. And I actually wrote down, if you're interested, I'll go to ML Nation, and there's a blog, Why ML Leaders Switch Companies. And they can easily switch because they have a following, right? You got to brand yourself. And that comes from giving value, consistent value every single day. Now, companies that last, number 4, I will share some opinions. Maybe these are not that popular, but from my 22 years in the profession, number 1 is not based on hype. You guys got a solid product or service. There's companies that hype over the years, you can get a lot of people join, but it doesn't last. So if you're looking to make some quick money fast, yeah, those companies hype are good, but just don't delude yourself and think that you are going to have something that lasts forever. All right, you may have a hype and then make some money and save it and do something else. That's fine. But those companies normally with hype, they don't last. Number two is, and you're not going to like me to hear me say this, is companies that grow too fast, too quickly, generally don't do that well. Right? It's kind of like the boring companies go slow and steady. They often do a lot better. Now, you can prove me wrong, but a lot of the companies that had issues recently, they grew really, really quickly in the beginning, right? And then the other part is you must have some type of international expansion. Not that the U.S. market is saturated, but a lot of times the leaders are humans. They get a little lazier. They want to relax, enjoy themselves, right? But you still got to build, but they may not be building like the way they were before because maybe life situations or maybe they get burned out and they slow down a little bit. That's just reality. Like I was one of them. I want to do something else. So you need international expansion. You need to find new leaders. And it can't be, also you have to be developing new leaders, not recruiting leaders from different companies. That's only is going to last short-term growth because, and a lot of these companies that grew very quickly, they grab leaders from different companies, but then after it slows down, these leaders leave, right? You got to really take time to grow homegrown organic leaders, new people. Just like the way my mentor worked with me 22 years ago, developing a new group of leaders. And you need international. If you look at the companies that had issues, whether it was Modere, a lot of those companies, they didn't not do that well internationally, had issues with that. And that caused, that was one of them. Maybe I'm wrong. I know, you tell me. Reach out to me on social media. Let me know. You can contact me through the website. If you disagree, I'll be happy to talk more about that. But I think international expansion, now, maybe not in the beginning. Not at the beginning, you can't expand, but once you get mature, like 10, 20 years, you do need to expand. Okay. It's not just about the market saturation, but you're talking about hungry leaders, right? It's not the product saturated, but you need new people that are really hungry and driving. That's a big part. And so you see that a lot of companies that do well, they expand well especially in Latin America. They expand well in Africa, expand well in Asia. Those are all hotbeds for network marketing. The last thing is you really got to focus on what you're building and focus. I read a tweet this week that was so true. It sounded like, and this maybe goes against network marketing, right? Because we talk about personal development is very important, but you can also get caught up on the scroll hole, of just the rabbit hole of scrolling on the social media. And it's about inexperience is invaluable. And you kind of have to have like a naive and just like go, and just focus on the income producing activities. When you know too much going on in the industry, too much everything, or you read all the details, your time is valuable. Your time needs to be spent on building the business. That's one of the important things. Focus on building the business. Focus. And I think I'll add one more thing. I said two more things. Number one, implementation is more important than information. Implementation, right? So if this Modere thing that happened, this company shut down, instead of saying that, and I'm not going to go into the threats about it because of Amazon, whatever. You can go to my previous episode I did 4 months ago that talked about that, how you have to give added service. But if you're going to say, well, this is just information, I can't believe it, then you're not getting it. You got to take action. What's the lesson you learned? Maybe you need to build your brand a little bit better, right? Maybe your customers, you need to service them a little better. I was just talking to a coaching member and he said that, well, a lot of network marketing products are slightly overpriced or very overpriced. Well, yes and no. Maybe you can say the value, but I'll guarantee you one thing, whatever product or service you're selling, I can find something on Amazon or Costco that's comparable and a lot cheaper. Now, you can say your product is the best. Yes, but maybe a little bit less better. I can take something, most people, they may take something a little bit less better if it's a lot cheaper, right? So the product, and back in the day, maybe you're the only way they can get a certain type of supplement. But now the infinite number of choices thanks to the social media, thanks to the internet, thanks to Amazon, thanks to Costco. So you really need to provide some added service, right? Maybe it's the accountability to take the product, maybe health tips, something they cannot get anywhere else. The fulfillment, the recognition, if you're a leader, you got to create that culture, because if you're not, then people will go find and buy from somewhere else. When money gets tight or there's negative news or they feel that doubt, they're just going to cancel the orders and buy from something else. You got to create something that's intangible, that they can measure too, right? If you're giving them a recipe book, well, I can buy a recipe book for 99 cents on Amazon Kindle. But the fulfillment, the goodness, the friendship, the good times, the phone calls to check in, I can't put a value on that, right? That is what you need to add to your culture to keep people in. My last words too is residual income is possible, but you need to get lucky. You need to build. You need to be a solid customer base. And by one other side note, I know I'm rambling here, but the direct selling just came out with the stats, and it's on my website, the future of network marketing. I'll put a link on the show notes page where I did a whole article about that. Not every company is doing bad. A lot of companies are doing really, 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 really well. Okay, especially services companies are doing extremely well. So don't let this one bad news just hold you. Say, I can't believe network marketing is going down. There's a lot of companies doing well. It's just some big names that didn't do well, but a lot of companies are doing extremely well. But the real value, I think, network marketing goes back to, would I recommend my kids to do network marketing? I say absolutely. Now they can do whatever they want, but absolutely, for a couple of reasons. All three kids, they want to be baseball players and they want to be business people. I recommend it because, number one, it teaches you business skills that you're not going to get anywhere else. It's the easiest way to learn how to sell, the easiest way to learn how to market and sell yourself. I'm saying selling twice again. Easiest way to learn how to communicate. Easiest way to learn about time management, productivity, discipline, right? These are all amazing skills that you can use for something else, to start other businesses or do other things, or just, even if you want, if my kids just want to have a job, which I don't think they would, but all these skills you learn in network marketing will allow you to make more money at a job, right? So absolutely. How it's transformed my life, how it's transformed the people I've seen, 100%. But I think the real value in network marketing, number one, is what you learn, and also the money you make. You're making money in network marketing. Highly encourage you to save that money, invest it, right? Doesn't need to be fancy. It doesn't need to be something risky, but take that money, invest it into something else. I always talk about different assets. Money is only one asset, right? Money, equity, or stocks, whatever. There's one asset, but you also have another asset, health, right? You take the money, invest in your health. Maybe because you have some money, you can work less and invest in your health, get healthier. Invest in relationships. That's another, right? And time, what can maybe work less and use the time with your kids. But you need to take the money. Don't use the money to buy more toys. Use the money to transfer that money into different assets, like whether it's equities, like stocks or other businesses. And for other businesses, to make sure something you know a lot. Otherwise, you're going to lose money and totally get ripped off. Okay. But take that and transfer it to the time, whether it's time with the kids, right? Like the way I've done it, or time with relationships, which keep spending more time with people, or building your network, or spending the time to invest in your health. Really important. But if you're making whatever, $1,000 a month, go invest that money back. Don't spend that $1,000. Or maybe spend the first $1,000 and enjoy yourself. But use that to things that'll give you back more time, more enjoyment, and real things that last. And invest that money, save that money. Don't spend it, because you never know when that money will stop. Right? Because this is a business, it can last. But you know what? If you build a successful network marketing, just like those leaders, if you build it successfully once, you can build it again. Now, if you can't build it again, that means you got lucky. You didn't really have the skills. But if you really want residual, you need skills and you need the luck, right? Your income, there's a saying by John Maxwell, your income rises and falls to your level of leadership. So if you have great leadership, you immediately get the income. So my friends who lost their incomes in Modere, it sucked, but I know they'll get the money back very quickly, within 6 months to 1 year. In fact, they'll get stronger. They'll get better, because during this challenging time, their leadership skills, their business skills will improve tenfold. So when they come back a year from now, they'll be 10 times better leaders than they are today. Because the sad part is we grow during our toughest times. Hey, that's my message for you. A little bit different episode. Love to connect with you, talk more with you individually on social media. Reach out to me. Let me know what you think of this episode. And if you like these, please subscribe and leave a review on your favorite podcast player. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've got a lot of clips there that'll help you out as well. Hey, that's what I have. Even though through tough times, I'm still loud and proud to be part of the profession. I'm Simon Chan. I'm signing out. Now take what you learned. Implement something from this lesson. Remember, implementation over information. And go out there, have a positive impact on someone's life. God bless you all.